we welcome our visitors from Lyons Township High School.
And we are live. And what a day to be live. I mean, it's homecoming football. The Dukes are 4-0. AJ Swiatek, Gavin, Connolly up here in the booth. Following that absolutely beautiful presentation of our national anthem and the fight song by the marching band, it is now time to commence this homecoming football game, Gavin, and it is a historical one. The Dukes are looking to go 5-0 and potentially clinch a playoff berth for the first time in over a decade. And here come the Dukes, 4-0 on the season. Student section is loud. We're excited. Everyone up here in the booth is excited. Big thanks to everyone up here, by the way. But Gavin, the vibe at York today was clear. It was clear that all of a sudden the students have confidence in the football team they haven't had confidence in for the majority of their lifetimes. And a lot of people were saying that LT would be an easier matchup for York. But going into the season, that did not seem to be the case. And that almost always is recipe for a trap game. So Gavin, what do the Dukes have to do to not only knock off these LT Lions, but go into it with a certain mindset, not going into it thinking that this is going to be a win?
Well, first of all, AJ, just thank you so much for having me out here Friday night under the lights. And yeah, like you said, this might be the biggest game at this stadium that we've ever seen, for sure. Like, people can just feel it. It was hard to, like, go through school the entire day because people were just so excited for this game. But yeah, just like you said, this could be a trap game. LT is 2-2 on the year, but do not count the Lions out. What I think the Dukes really need to do is, first of all, pound the rock.
Oh, yeah.
Running the ball has been so effective for the Dukes Dukes this entire year, and last year was just more of the same, including a 93-yard touchdown run by the Dukes running back Kelly Watson, which is the longest run in Dukes history.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think running the football and, just relying on the defense quite a bit. The Dukes defense, listen to this stat. They have given up an average of 4.25 points per game this year. Absolutely ridiculous. This unit is so experienced and so smart. If the defense plays well, the Dukes have a great chance today. So it should be an incredible game. I'll hand it back to you.
And homecoming is so often headlined by the seniors, Gavin. And tonight, regarding that defense, it could potentially rightfully be so. Jeffrey Coglianese, one of the captains of this team, was pumped up at the pep rally today as we get ready for kickoff here. But really what the storyline of tonight's game is going to be, Gavin, speaking of last week, speaking of the pep rally, it's Captain Colin Doherty. Oh my goodness. The ball was out, and this game is underway. The student section is letting them hear it, but as I was saying, we're about to see the quarterback decision. Matt Vezza has been taking snaps with the ones all week. Following Colin Doherty's start to the DGN game, Vezza came in, he showed out, and he led that comeback, if you want to call it a comeback. He led the win for Downers Grove North. And Fitzgerald, as we've been mentioning all year, has been wanting to go with the hot hand. Vezza was starting all year. Doherty was starting all year. Vezza gets thrown under center as a junior. Gavin, you know Vezza personally. You guys have been going to school forever. You're in the same grade. It will be interesting to see how that plays out. But all of a sudden, Lyons already pinned on their own goal line. That's what we have to focus on here.
Yeah, not a great start for the Lions, and the student section is letting them hear it.
Those boom whackers, those things get loud.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes the LT offense. That's led by senior quarterback Joey Antonietti. He has been solid on the year. I mean, that's one of the things with this LT offense. You cannot scoff at those two losses. Of course, coming against two teams ranked in their 8A division. Those being New Trier and Hinsdale Central.
Yeah, and you definitely cannot count out the Lions offense. They've put up 32.5 points per game this year, which is a good number.
And he puts on a move. That's Antonietti with a nice little run for himself. The offense gets started as we expected. We expect this to be a very coveted side of the ball. It's that very, very cutthroat Dukes defense that, as you mentioned, has been giving up less than a touchdown a game. Meanwhile, you look over at the Lions side of things. This offense has been the bright spot of this team. And now it's 2nd and 2 after the Antonietti run. Gavin, that was a good way to get started. Get themselves off the goal line, and all of a sudden, LT has a bit of a drive here with 2nd and manageable.
Not the most conventional play calls when you're backed up on your own one, but the quarterback draw seemed to be effective there.
And that's what football is turning towards. You see so many quote-unquote unconventional plays nowadays, and if you have the defense on your heels, they're not expecting the QB draw, why not go with it? It works there, 8-yard gain, and now a 2nd and 2 coming up for Antonietti in the offense.
Listen to this noise.
Unreal. And there's a flag. Looks like it might be a false start, possibly a delay of game. Either way, it's against the offense, and it is due to this loud student section. You see Aiden Wicklow on the sideline, Colin Doherty on the sideline, a lot of seniors getting this student section into it, and all of a sudden what went from a 2nd and manageable is a much harder 2nd and 7 backed up on your own goal line.
Here's something interesting about LT. When I was talking to Coach Fitz, he said, looking at the film, LT likes to yell out their plays rather than signal, so the crowd noise really should disrupt that communication. Here, you already see that's working.
Another QB draw, 2 straight QB draws. This one doesn't work as well. Antonietti looks to get it about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and all of a sudden, the Dukes have forced a 3rd and 5.
Their signature 3rd downs.
And of course, headlining last game on the defensive side of things, Everett Snyder. Snyder walked away with multiple sacks on the night, ended up making the team of the week of the state, which was overall just great to see. But I expect to see some pressure off the edge. Coach Fitzgerald is always an aggressive coach, and you expect a pass here on 3rd and 5. I expect to see Everett Snyder coming in off the edge and coming in hot against that left tackle of the Lyons Township offense.
And another flag. backing him up more. Another false start. This crowd is electric.
I haven't seen a York Duke student section this excited for football in my time here at York. I will go as far as saying I haven't seen it in my entire lifetime. You always see the middle schoolers under the bleachers playing catch and touch. I was one of those guys. I'm not afraid to admit it, but I have not heard a crowd this electric in such a long time.
I mean, look at the coaches. The coaches are out there jumping like 2 feet in the air. I've never seen this before. The electricity in the stadium is unmatched right now. And if LT is expecting this to change, they are wrong. 2 false start penalties on their first drive. And it's only going to get rowdier.
That goes half the distance to the goal. Now with 3rd and 8, the student section is loud. They're running a QB draw on 3rd and 8. The Dukes were ready for it. He may have only gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Lyons, pinned on their own goal line, will be forced to punt on the York Dukes homecoming game.
Yeah, what a perfect start for this defense. You got the perfect field position, really, if you're a defense. And then not letting up any yards, pretty much. So great start for this unit.
Oh, absolutely. And that analysis from Coach Fitzgerald was really insightful, Gavin. I think that had absolutely led into that drive. They already had 2 false start penalties, a lot of that due to these boom whackers and this extravagant student section that showed up tonight. I mean, it is packed shoulder to shoulder, and that's a real short punt, a wobbler. The Dukes are going to start well inside the Lions. Wow, they are going to start inside the 40-yard line.
I wonder if a Duke defender got a finger on that, because that was curving at a pretty significant rate.
Regardless, quite a wobbler, and it looks like they're going to mark it out around the 25-yard line.
Oh my goodness.
The Dukes already starting 5 yards out of the red zone, and look who's under center. Matt Veza, the junior, is starting the homecoming game. We heard a chant before game, "We want Veza." The fans got what they wanted. The junior quarterback is under the gun and ready to go. He's been starting all week at practice, and he keeps the role here. His first start as a varsity York Duke.
Yeah, and look to see a lot of read option. That was the main play call at Downers Grove North. A lot of read option in the second half, especially when Veza was under center, and it seemed to work. So look for more of the same tonight.
And I mean, Matt Veza, Kelly Watson, both such great athletes there in the backfield for the Dukes. It makes it really hard to contain. And then you pair that with the fact that Veza, of course, has an arm. I mean, it's really entertaining to watch. You see Charlie Specht on the far left side of your screen. Bit of a trips formation on the top with what appears to be Cal Harris, and it's Veza dropping back. Veza wants it all to the end zone. He has his man. Oh my goodness. That's one you want to have back. Perfectly placed ball from Matt Veza. Oh my goodness. Matt Veza puts the ball on a dime, zippers it to the back of the end zone, and that's just not a play that could happen. It's really not.
Yeah, and I know Charlie personally, and he takes so much pride in being a tremendous wide receiver. He is going to be kicking himself for that drop.
Wow.
Perfectly placed ball, great play call, and oh man, that's tough. Hopefully the Dukes can get it back, 3rd and 10.
But I do like that point that you made about the great play call, because Coach Fitzgerald has brought something different to the table this year. They aren't afraid to push the ball in the red zone. Previous Dukes teams have played scared, as that's a missed screen pass, and that's what happens when you drop a touchdown pass like that. But there is a flag down on the field. There is a flag down.
It looks like it's going to be on the Dukes, though. Looks like someone may have said something that
not ideal. Charlie Specht, a member of the York Sports Network down there. We wanted it. We didn't only want it for the Dukes. We wanted it for him. I mean, it was just a perfectly placed ball from Matt Veza. But if you're Coach Fitzgerald, there's a lot to be excited about. You're not going to expect Specht to have that kind of drop often. And if anything, it showed that the offense could move, because they had that touchdown opportunity. Veza threw the ball perfectly, and it was a great play call. He burned through, read the defense perfectly. Veza went through his progression, saw his guy. It's just a ball you have to come down with if you're Charlie Specht.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see those kind of drops very often, though. Next one, I'm sure he's catching.
And due to the penalty, it's now a York 4th and 25. The Dukes forced to punt. When starting on the 25, I thought the Dukes were at least going to get some points, but all of a sudden, the punter is lined up behind his own 50. Here comes Max the leg handsman to kick it off to LT, trying to coffin corner him, potentially get him inside their own 20-yard line. Handsman, a bit of a liner, gets it out to about the 15. No fair catch called for, but the knee is down right at about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, there were some special teams errors last week at DGN, because It was rainy, the ball was slippery, and there was a lot of trouble getting the ball from the long snapper to the punter. But good to see that transition is clean.
Great to see. It was a bit to the side. Handsman great at adjusting, grabs it, kicks it off himself. But speaking of inclement weather, Gavin, before this event, it was raining up here. We had very limited time to get set up. Very windy. The ambient noise is absurd. Just further leading to the fact that this LT offense needs to be able to communicate with the quarterback, because we've seen delay of games, we've seen false starts, and we've seen this crowd noise as well as the wind really get to the offense. It's another QB keeper, 3 straight QB keepers for the Lions. This one works out as it looks like Antionetti will have a first down for Lyons Township. Lyons Township head coach Joe Buttigieg has really loved that QB draw so far. We've seen it on over half the plays, seen it the majority of the time, and Antionetti has really been able to capitalize. I mean, other than shooting themselves in the foot with those penalties, this offense looks like it could move. This time they'll go for the pitch to the outside. And the Lions ball carrier is flipped after about a pickup of 3.
That was number 23, Steven Borchers on the carry.
Lions get their first run play by a non-quarterback. What is so prominent nowadays in high school football, when you have a quarterback who could move, Lamar Jackson, the likes of all sorts of guys, Kyler Murray, have really transformed football as we know it. We see a Lions runner be able to bounce to the outside, get himself past the 50, and all of a sudden the LT offense is moving. But it's really transformed all levels of football. All of a sudden, you see quarterbacks that can move on almost every squad, because it really is such an advantage to have a guy when the pocket breaks down to be able to get outside, to have another guy available in the run game. It just keeps the defense that much more on their toes, and the Dukes clearly on their toes here, as this Lions drive is very promising.
Yeah, definitely. It's just having the quarterback that can run is just one more guy to worry about. And you say that the Dukes here, they seem to be expecting more quarterback draw. So when they ran halfback stretch, it caught them a little bit off guard, and LT's been stringing together some plays.
As Antionetti to give up the gun once again. That's number 23, Steven Borchers, brought down again. But this Lions offense has had no problem moving the ball via the run. That's a 3-yard pickup. 2nd and 7 now for the Lions at what looks to be about the 47. And Gavin, it's been interesting. This is not what I expected to see from the Lions offense. I watched some tape heading into the night, and it really has surprised me what I've seen. I was not expecting this much of a run-heavy offense, that's for sure, but I certainly wasn't expecting to not see a pass attempt over halfway into this first quarter from the Lyons Township offense, but it's working out. Here comes Antionetti from the shotgun. Duke sending the pressure. Antionetti wants to keep it himself, bounces to the outside. Jukes one defender, spins out of another tackle, and will bring up a 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this Duke defense adjusts. Like right there, LT only had 1 wide receiver out on the field. So, I mean, clearly good blocking from LT to start. And let's see how this Duke's defense can adjust, because LT's making it work right now.
Absolutely. This is reminding me of week 1 of the York football season when they traveled out to Schaumburg to play the Saxons. It's very similar. It's reminiscent of the Duke's offense, where if the run game works, why go away from it? 3rd and 4 here, you could potentially see another run from the Lions. And yet again, they love having Antionetti work from the shotgun. Here he comes. The Dukes are getting loud. They do hand it off, and he's got it. Bold play to go with the halfback draw, and it works.
Yeah, this offensive line is really getting a good push up there, leaving lots of room for Borchers to make some plays.
Borchers, not a name we mentioned on the first drive, but he's been able to move, and when you have a quarterback and a running back with wheels like this, it's really hard to stop. And here come the Lions offense. About a 3-yard run. No, it looks like they'll give him about 1.5. It's now 2nd and 9 for Lyons Township Lions with only 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Both defenses getting the better of the other squad so far. Dukes, of course, had the chance to get that touchdown in case you're just tuning in. Just in and out of the hands of Charlie Specht, wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, very close to being 7-0 Dukes, but we're still scoreless.
Antionetti wants to keep it himself. He's got lead blockers. He pummels his way into about a 4-yard pickup. Looks like we'll have another 3rd and semi-manageable here for the Lions. Looks like it'll be about a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7.
A big component for the Dukes defense is limiting these longer runs, like limiting these 6 to 7 yard runs, especially on 3rd down. That's kind of when you want to take a stand, limit the rushes to even like 3, 4 yards. But these 6, 7, 8 plus yard runs, just can't happen.
Dukes just wanting to get off the field here. 3rd and 7. We may see the first pass attempt. We don't. It's another QB power to the outside. He gets stuffed. The Dukes are all over that. The student section will let them hear it. 4th down, Lyons Township Lions put in a bit of a sticky situation here. Is it 4-down territory? Does it look to be 4-down territory, Gavin?
I wouldn't think so. This is way too early in the game.
Looks like the offense will stay out there at least for the moment.
I would be surprised if they went for it here.
Wanting to make a bold move on York's homecoming night, the Lions look to keep the offense out there. There are some subs coming in.
It's 4th down, Duke fans. Let's get live.
4th and 7, it's marked as. The Lions offense stays on the field. Be shocked to see another running attempt. No, timeout. Don't see what they like. They see what the Dukes bring on offense. Timeout from the Lyons Township coaching staff. With 3:16 to go, it's still 0-0. 4th and 7, Lions appearing to possibly want to go for this. We'll see if that was just a hard count. AJ Swiatek, Gavin, Connolly, thank you all for tuning in to this beautiful homecoming stream on the York Sports Network. We will be right back after this timeout break. LT drops out of the huddle, and it looks like they are going to attempt to go for it. That wasn't just a hard count. They've combined for 50 rushing yards, still have yet to attempt to pass. We could see it here from Antionetti. Talked to some Lyons Township streamers themselves prior to the game. They said Antionetti had an arm on himself. I watched a bit of Lyons Township football as well. It did seem he had the ability to throw. Whistles before the play.
False start. False start. Another false start of the Lions, and we'll see if they bring out the punting unit.
Gavin, it's interesting. It looked like that was going to be another QB draw.
I would believe it. And our cameraman, Joshua Melvin, brings up a great point. It seems to be like they're running an offense similar to the Army College, the University of Army.
Just a lot of run plays,
yeah, just
a lot of
run
power
plays,
runs.
a lot of quarterback draws, and that is very true. They've run an offense very similar to that of Army today.
And what's interesting with that is that the Army offense emphasizes so much as the Dukes nearly get on that punt. The Army offense just emphasizes so much on the fact that they have the lead blockers. And you've seen often there's been 3 or 4 guys in the backfield there ready to block for Antionetti. These lead blockers willing to throw themselves on the line. That led to the Lions' 50-yard drive. But they got stagnant when it mattered most, and now the Dukes looking to capitalize, put the first points on the board as they so hoped to do so last time. And the give to Watson. Watson will start it off on the outside. Looks like he'll get about half of what's needed there. Duke start off the drive in a positive way. And yes, it will be 2nd and 5 for this Dukes offense. And Gavin, this Dukes offense has been electric. I know the defense is what often loves to get the credit from the media around here, even from the students, but this offense is nothing to shy away from. I know that it's not normal for a 4-0 team to switch quarterback midway through the season like this. This is another give. This time not as successful. It will be another 3rd down for the Dukes. But Gavin, it's not often a 4-0 team switches their guy who's under center, not only at home, but at the homecoming game. But this offense is nothing to shy of, and a very generous spot. Looks like they'll give the Dukes a 1st down there, Gavin.
Yeah, it's just so rare to have a quarterback who plays tremendous, and you bring in another guy, and he plays almost better than the starting quarterback.
Kelly Watson gets out of the first tackle, but not much.
But like you were saying about the Dukes offense, 43.75 points per game. That is absolutely incredible. And like I was saying, it just speaks volumes of this Dukes football team, the talent and the development. To have Doherty play great. They bring in Veza, and he plays almost better and leads them to the win at DGN. And, you know, Coach Fitz is sticking with the hot hand and playing Veza here at homecoming night.
Sticking to his word. Coach Fitzgerald said all season he'll stick with whoever's the hot hand, and Veza wants to keep it himself. Veza on the read option. He's got room to run. Breaks a tackle. Matt Veza gets over the 50-yard line. And I'll tell you, it doesn't matter. He's a junior. This entire student section is fired up after that run.
Yeah, read option. I mentioned it earlier. Look to see the read option. And Veza, he rushed for a touchdown last week, showing off his strength there. Gets the ball over the 50-yard line for the Dukes.
Absolutely. Duke offense continues to move. They've showed so much potential here tonight. And here comes the 1st down for the Dukes. Veza with the give to Watson. Watson's met by many guys in the backfield. Veza made the wrong read there. If he kept it, he had some room to run, but ended up giving it to Watson. Watson doesn't even make it back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like they will spot it about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a 2nd and 12 here. Duke signaling their play call, as you mentioned, something that most teams do in the conference, but not Lyons Township. Lyons verbally telling the lead of the defense, which looks to be that middle linebacker, where to set everybody. A bit of confusion, and here come the Dukes, giving it to Watson. Watson's got those burners. Watson off the edge. Watson's got room to run. Kelly Watson with the 1st down and more. 2nd and 12 turns to 1st and 10 as the Dukes are driving.
Definitely, AJ. And it's coming from the run game. You know, we talked about LT's, their ability to have a quarterback that can run. Veza said, hey, anything you can do, I can do better. Dukes are stringing together a great drive.
Here comes Veza. Veza with the screen pass, trying to get him back in motion. It's working. To the outside, looks like he'll get it to about the 30-yard line for about a 2nd and 4. Duke's offense continues to move. It looked like that was Anthony Menelosino there on the screen pass. His first target of the game goes for about 5 to 6 yards. Here comes Veza. They'll go back to the run game. This time he'll keep it himself. Gets up the middle, gets the 1st down and more. Matt Veza gets past the 25. Duke's nearing the red zone for the 2nd time this game.
And you see this two-headed monster of a Duke's running game. They saw Watson had the big run earlier, and so when Veza pretended to hand the ball off to Watson, everybody bid. They all went towards number 1. Veza kept it himself, got the 1st down.
It's crazy how much the guy under center changes the offense, because this was not the offensive scheme when Colin Doherty was in. It was more RPO heavy. This is more read option heavy. This time Veza has his guy he wants in the end zone, goes to the back of the end zone just a little bit too far for Charlie Specht, who's looking for a flag, doesn't get it. Veza stayed locked in on his guy the whole time. That looked to be a one-read play. Stayed looking at Charlie Specht, member of YSN. Would have liked to see him survey the field there. He had a guy at around the 15 with some open room to run, but Veza stays out in the back of the end zone and gets it to a 2nd and 10 for the Dukes.
I don't think that ball was catchable enough for there to be a pass interference there. But
agreed.
The Dukes fans seem to disagree.
No, Dukes fans always disagree with that, but Veza with the screen pass this time to the outside, gets out to about the 20-yard line, just outside of the red zone. And that was Jack Wagner on the catch, senior for the Dukes. Looks like the first timeout will be charged. No, End of the first quarter, 3rd and 6 coming up from right outside the red zone for the York Dukes. This game's still locked at zeros, Gavin. It's been really interesting. Dukes have definitely looked to be the more confident team on the offensive side of the ball. Clearly opening up the playbook for Vezzo. They're not easing him into anything. They've given him a couple shots to the back right of that end zone. First one dropped, second one thrown a bit too far, but this 3rd and 6 coming up is a massive play here, Gavin. I want to know, what do you think Coach Fitzgerald is drawing up in the huddle now? You see him instantly talking to his quarterback. What is he talking to Matt Vezzo about?
You know, this is going to sound crazy, but I think they're going to stick with the read option. I think LT is going to assume pass, but, you know, York, they stuck to the tendency to run the ball. 3rd and 6, they've had multiple runs of more than 6 yards. I think they're going to go read option here, as crazy as it sounds.
Time will tell. It is 3rd and 6. The Dukes stay in the huddle. Coach Fitzgerald drawing up some magic here for Matt Vezzo and the York Dukes. And out they trot. Vezzo and Watson talking the whole way. I'll tell you what, when Mark Schneider went down in week 1, everyone felt their hearts drop. But Kelly Watson has done a great job stepping in as the lead back role. He has done absolutely phenomenal this year. Mentioned that he broke the York Dukes' longest rushing touchdown record last week against DGN. He's been awesome. And he goes to Watson. Oh my goodness. The Dukes have a case of the dropsies on homecoming. That was a beautiful read by Matt Vezzo. I know it's 4th and 6 now, Gavin, and that's not ideal for Dukes fans, but I've got to say, the only red flag that was brought to my attention prior to this game about Matt Vezzo was his ability to go through his reads with solid footwork. He went from option 1 to option 2, goes to his wheel check down. Watson streaming down the field for what was potentially a touchdown, but the second drop touchdown of the game for the Dukes brings Max the leg enhancement out to get the Dukes on top, potentially 3-0.
You know, it could just be nerves playing at such a big stage in front of so many people.
And no, the Dukes offense will stay on the field and they'll run a quick no huddle. Vezzo dropping back to pass. Lyons is sending everybody. Vezzo has to throw it up. Caught! Touchdown, Dukes! Are you kidding me? What seemed to be a desperation toss. Matt Vezzo lobs it to the back of the end zone. The Dukes are on top 6-0. Unbelievable. It's chaos. The Dukes are screaming. Everyone's excited. Lyons sent an all-out blitz. Look at they're blitzing 8 there off the edge. Vezzo able to stay poised in the pocket, gets absolutely slammed, but he finds his guy for the touchdown and gets the Dukes up 6-0.
What a play by Vezzo. There were 2 guys in Matt Vezzo's face, just completely in his face, and he just, I don't know if he saw Wagner or just said, he's down there somewhere. Threw it up. Wagner, great one-on-one catch, 50-50 ball. He came up with it. Dukes lead 7-0, and that'll make the crowd back into it.
Oh, for sure. Max Hansman knocks down the PAT. Shout out to the leg. But oh my goodness, Gavin. I thought it was disaster. They ran the engage 8. They had 3 guys drop back in man-to-man coverage. Vezzo's forced to throw it up, and honestly, the night where the case of the dropsies has been real for the Dukes. Jack Wagner comes up with a catch in such an important moment, and he gets the Dukes out to the 7-0 lead. I'm stunned. I am seriously shocked. That was great poise for Matt Vezzo to take the hit and deliver a strike.
Yeah, sacrificing the body. I mean, who knows what could have happened. Worst case scenario was a scoop and score for the Lions, but, you know, great poise, great just pocket feel and feeling the pressure. And yeah, just an overall great throw, and the Dukes are on top.
Set to kick off is Max Hansman in the special teams. The special teams unit has been great this season. Caused a couple turnovers, caused a lot of hard hits, and we'll see what happens here. Hansman, a bit of a wobbler, doesn't go as far as he likely would have wanted. Lyons, oh my goodness. Lucky he's able to get on top of that one. That kick was bobbled, but LT does retain possession at around the 30-yard line.
Wow, that one bounced straight into the ground and back up to the LT receiver. That could have been disaster for the Lions.
You want to talk about a momentum change. That would have been it, but there's a Duke down on the field. Appeared to be diving for that fumble. I'm trying to figure out who it is from up here. Gavin's the one with the good eyesight. Let's see here.
That is linebacker Matt Sutter on the field. He's getting up, walking to the sideline, okay.
Able to walk out on his own power. Keeps the helmet on, which is probably good news. Like I always say, I'm no medic, but just glad to see that he was able to walk off on his own power, standing still on the sideline, not forced to sit down. Now just 14 seconds into this second quarter. Duke's defense set for their third drive. They've done a great job tonight at forcing this LT offense to think on the fly. Still no pass attempts from the Lyons Township team, and it'll continue that way. QB keeper for Annie and Netta goes nowhere.
Like I said, the Duke's defense can really make adjustments. They're adjusting to this quarterback draw. His runs have just been getting smaller and smaller.
Excuse me on that. That was Annie Nettie. Annie Nettie, really, they love to do these QB powers with him. They just haven't had the same effects as they did at the start of the game. The Duke's starting to stack the box. Coach Fitzgerald, as he's so great at, makes these adjustments. And you see the Dukes, they're telling this Lions defense or offense, keep running these plays. We'll be prepared, and until they change this game plan, the Dukes will be all over.
They haven't thrown a pass yet, have they?
They have not.
They have not thrown a pass yet.
And of course, as you say, they drop back to pass, play action pass, hits its tight end in motion and gets the first down. Nearly a roughing the passer there. I'll tell you, in the NFL, that would be a roughing the passer, but
there's a flag
there
out.
is a flag down.
Flag out. Will it be on the Dukes?
I'm not going to lie, unbiased perspective, it did seem like a roughing the passer. It was a late hit, but it does look like the flag is going against the Lions. They're trotting back. Potentially offsetting penalties, but no, they're going behind the line of scrimmage. Looks like it'll be a hold.
That is unfortunate for the Lions because he would have had the first down for sure.
So there goes that. No pass attempt still on the day for the Lions. There's Nolan Korzenowski getting ready to line up. This York Dukes front seven has been just absolutely electric, not only tonight, but the season as a whole. You see him, Aiden Naraki at linebacker. You also see Everett Snyder off the edge. This entire defensive front has just been a force to be reckoned with. It's a major reason this Lions offense hasn't been able to run the way they want to. Now it's a 2nd and 27, and it gets to the point where you have to start throwing the rock. It really does.
Yeah, it's just crazy because you mentioned that Antionetti has an arm, and they just haven't outrun any pass plays.
Passing formation leads to a pass. Antionetti, they love him on the run, rolls out, finds his guy. No. Antionetti had his guy, couldn't get it to him, and now that will bring up a 3rd and 27 inside the Lions' own 10-yard line.
Yeah, another bootleg for Antionetti, and this time he was not able to find the receiver. Interesting to see what they do here with 27 yards to go.
For sure, and it is clear that Coach Butcher loves to get his quarterback in motion, whether it be in the run or in the pass. But on this 3rd and 27 with not much room to work, they may have to keep Antionetti in the pocket and have a guy in stride downfield. Dukes have themselves in a great position here. See, they're able to run a deep safety for the first time in a long time tonight, and we'll see what happens. Dukes fans getting loud. It's 3rd and 27 for Lyons Township. They get their 11th guy on the field. 10:49 to go. Dukes on top 7-0. This LT team gets out of the huddle. Antionetti needs to get something going here. Antionetti, QB keeper. Dukes all over that. Doesn't get anywhere near the first down. Gets to the point, Gavin. I feel like we beat a dead horse because we say this against almost all the Dukes opponents, and this is just a theme in high school football. But it does get to the point eventually where you're going to have to turn away from the scripted plays and turn against the game plan. This Dukes team has bottled up the run all night. It's just interesting to see that they go with the QB power on a 3rd and 27.
Yeah, important to note that there are 2 flags on the play. I don't know who they are, the officials are discussing. But yeah, like you said, getting away from the game plan, making adjustments, changing the script a little bit to find something that's working. It's just been a lot of just power option for LT and Antionetti. Just a lot of quarterback draws right up the middle as if he's a running back. It seemed to be working at the start, but the Dukes defense has adjusted, and his runs just seem to get smaller and smaller. It'll be interesting to see what they do next. Plenty of time left in this game to make adjustments, but none so far.
It looks like the Lions offense is going to stay out there. It appears to be offsetting penalties. They're lining up at the line of scrimmage from prior to the snap. A lot of discussion from Coach Fitzgerald and the 2 referees. A bit of confusion, not only from up in the booth, but from down on the field. Both refs discussing what the 2 flags thrown were, but it does look like it will be a replay of downs here for Lyons Township.
is a lot of wind out here tonight, and even more so to where we are at. So if the wind is picked up on the mic, we do apologize.
Oh, absolutely, it is. We're up on top of the press box. If it's windy down there for the players, it's 3 times as windy up here. I've had to grab my flannel a few times from flying off. Looks like Lions are trotting up. Scoreboard reads 3rd and 37, which doesn't appear to be right. Regardless, if Lyons is going to want to get something going here, they're going to have to attempt the pass. I will go out on a limb and say that another QB keeper on a 3rd and deep will not work. And it's updated to a 3rd and 22, so the Duke's likely committing a 10-yard penalty, while Lyons committed a 5-yard one. 2 offsetting penalties, the most likely outcome there. We'll see.
It's 3rd down, Duke fans.
And it looks like there's going to be a replay of 3rd down. Still 22 yards to go, but another chance for the Lions.
And the Lions need as many chances as they could get here. Stagnant offense and flag down. Duke's clapping. They look excited. Think it may have been another false start from the offense.
Look at this. Everybody in green is waving to the crowd to get on your feet, get loud, start screaming at this LT offense.
And it's clearly been working. There has been an abnormal amount of false starts here tonight. Now with 10 minutes to go in this second quarter, LT already telling 4+ of said penalties, and this Duke's student section is likely a part of that. Now it's Antonetti testing the arm. He has his guy about 3 yards too far in stride. But there's a flag down. There's a flag in the secondary.
I hope that is not pass interference. I hope that is not pass interference. That ball was at least 10 feet in front of the receiver.
And you
uncatchable.
know, Gavin, regardless of the play call, what I have to say here is it shows that offenses move when the ball is pushed down the field. It doesn't always necessarily have to be a catch. You see the shock and awe when the flag is thrown in the secondary. I mean, even a pass interference moves the chains, and you see when they pass the ball, at least it instills some hope in this offense. But it looks like they're still lined up inside their own. Looks like it was weird.
Maybe a defensive holding?
Right, but that's typically an automatic first down.
It seemed just to be a 10-yard penalty against the Dukes. Another replay of the 3rd down.
Third down straight here for Lions. 3rd and 12, they've slowly made it more manageable off of their own goal line. And a timeout is forced from Lyons Township. This communication is not working. 3rd and 12 coming up for Lions here. 9:50 to go. AJ Swiatek, Gavin, Connolly. Thank you guys for sticking along. Duke's defense looking dominant, and the student section having a lot to do with it.
Your football alumni from Guaranteed right here in Elmhurst is raffling off a $250 Amazon gift card at halftime of the Varsity game. Tickets can be purchased at the Spirit Wear Shed or the South End concession stand. Tickets are 1 for $5, 3 for $10, or 8 for $20. All proceeds go to the York Athletic Boosters to support all York athletics. Winners need not be present to win. Duke fans, the Stark family would like to remind you that winter is coming. Be sure to head over to the Spirit fall and winter bets to come.
And we are back following the Lions' second timeout called at the half. It's 3rd down for the 3rd straight down. Lions yet again dropping back to pass. They've seen that it's caused the offense to move. Antonetti wants to get out of the pocket, breaks out of a tackle. Only able to pick up about a yard. Antonetti loves to go to his legs. That time clearly not the right decision. Duke stacked the box, expecting run. Eventually ended up guessing correctly. And it brings up a 4th and 8 where the Lions will likely be forced to punt. And Gavin, I just felt the first raindrop of the night. If you look up at the lights, it is clearly raining. This will be interesting.
Yeah, this tarp was not brought out here for nothing. Seems this will be interesting to see how the game plan changes or doesn't change for these two teams. It's almost another block punt.
this time.
Oh, no.
It's not fielded. It's touched by the Dukes. Who's on top of it? It looked like Lyons may have got to it first.
And the ref,
is signaling Lions football, the exact change that they needed. And it's getting windy. Oh my goodness. Down goes the notebook. Out comes the rain.
Yeah.
York Sports Network in their prime element. But oh my goodness, the exact change that Lions needed.
Yeah, there's your answer on how the rain's going to affect this game. Already making the ball a little bit slick, and too slick for Brian Durant.
And speaking of which, the Lions offense, which is so run-heavy, cannot be complaining about the potential rain right now. I think in general, this rain could serve as a potential momentum shifter in Lions' favor. You already see the Dukes muff the punt, and now Lions inside the red zone go straight to the give. A lot of bodies
ready for
there.
that. Number 52, John Rainier, was in the mix.
Here comes 2nd and 10. They say that they didn't gain any there. Lions go for the pitch. Duke's in the backfield. Gets out of the first 2 initial contacts, but it doesn't matter. Lions once again with a minuscule gain, and you've got to wonder, the offense looked like it was at least moving when they're dropping Antonetti back to pass. All of a sudden they go back to the run. The offense stays stagnant, and now it's a 3rd and 10 following 2 straight runs for limited gains. Third and 10, Antonetti in the huddle, getting his guys together. You see the offensive line in the huddle, getting everything set here. Antonetti again from the shotgun. Both these offenses love to work from the shotgun. Antonetti doesn't have his first read, shakes out of a sack. Antonetti on the run, he's so good on the move, but that's not a ball you want to throw. Interception, York Dukes. Antonetti had way too much faith in his arm. He had a guy beyond the Dukes, but throws it too short, directly into the arms.
And that was Connor Wall with the interception. He's had some huge interceptions this year. And there's another one to add to the count. Not a smart play by Antonetti, because even if you just fall to the ground, you still have the opportunity for points. Right. Now, a turnover leaves you empty-handed with a perfect field position.
This is a Lions team that so desperately needed to capitalize on that muff punt. Antonetti did a great job eluding the sack, but honestly, I know I find a way to make a Jets reference every single week. That was reminiscent of the Bill Belichick defense getting to Zach Wilson. He was on the move where Antonetti felt most comfortable, but really this Dukes defense, it was in his head. He made a throw that he's confident he can make, maybe against a lesser group, but not against Connor Wall and company. Just straight into the arms of Wall. I don't understand what Antonetti was trying to do there. That was just not enough mustard on that ball.
Nope, just a major underthrow. But the Dukes offense back to work.
And per usual, it's Veza from the shotgun. Both these offenses love to run from the shotgun. Veza with the give to Watson. Watson met the line of scrimmage, does a little bit of running backwards, and it does not work. Kelly Watson brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Reminds me a little bit of Tariq Cohen there, potentially trying to do a little bit too much. Running backwards, running sideways. Watson would have been better off just going down towards the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, tried to cut back and get to the corner on the other side of the field, but didn't work that time. So the Dukes lose 6.
In a 2nd and 16.
Good tackle for loss by the LT linebacker.
Now it's Veza from the shotgun on his own goal line, keeps it himself, and he's met it about the line of scrimmage. This will be a 3rd and very long from the Dukes in an area you don't want to be in, really backed up against your own end zone. Looks like it'll be marked as a 3rd and 14 now for Matt Vezza in the offense.
You can see the Duke's defense gathering together on the sideline, alluding to that this may just be a conservative play call, a run, or a short pass.
They do have 4 receivers wide. Vezza does look like he wants to throw it. Goes through his first read, goes through his progressions. Exactly what I wanted to see from Vezza. He's got Specht. This time he'll grab it. Charlie Specht past the 50-yard line. The ex-receiver comes up huge. Matt Vezza, that was impressive.
I take back my words. That was no conservative play call at all. 4 wide, and like I said, Charlie Specht is not going to drop another one of those. A huge pickup for the Dukes. A great play call. You see Specht's speed again, very similar to that drop in the end zone. It pays off this time, and now the Dukes are rolling.
Absolutely, and the Dukes lining up here in the no huddle. They're letting Vezza throw again, this time a screen that's dropped on the line. There's no whistle blown. Then they say incomplete late as there's fireworks off in the distance. Great way to spend homecoming night. And Gavin, I've got to say, as the fireworks are going on in the background to celebrate York homecoming, but as I mentioned, Gavin, nobody's ever going to question Vezza's athleticism or his arm. I mean, I've seen the kid in strength training. He can put those plates on the bench, and he can lift. And, I mean, he has a great arm on him. The only questions were the footwork and the ability to go through his progressions, and he's shut all of the critics up tonight. Oh, never mind! Pick! And Vezza's the only guy he has to beat. Get past Matt Vezza. It's going to be a pick 6! Lyons Township, just as I say, Matt Vezza's going through his progressions. He locks in just as we mentioned earlier tonight. Matt Vezza has a hard time at points going through his reads, and he's forced to keep his eyes where he wants to throw. This time he just stares at the out for 2 seconds too long. Leads to a pick 6 and a Lyons Township touchdown.
And a great job by that LT defender of reading the eyes of Vezza. He stared down his receiver for too long, read his eyes, dropped back, and jumped the route. And a couple broken tackles, and he's in the end zone. Wow, what a momentum shift. And just like that, it is an extra point away from being tied.
Unreal. Just as I'm mentioning the fact that I was impressed with Matt Vezza's ability to go through reads tonight, he does exactly what I didn't want to see from him. Stares down a receiver for 2 yards, and it just doesn't work out. And now Lyons Township lines up for a PAT to tie this game off at 7. The exact momentum shift that Lyons needed tonight.
Yeah, you can hear the Duke's marching band playing the Darth Vader Imperial March, a song we have not heard too much in this stadium. But
anything to throw off the Lyons Township kicker. The Dukes are getting loud, trying to cause any kind of mayhem they can following the Vezza interception. And that kick is up, and it is good. We're locked at 7 here with 5:46 to go at the Dukes homecoming when it looked like everything was going right. When Matt Vezza picked up the huge 3rd down deep completion, all of a sudden, the one-read offense came back into prolific. That's a made-up word. But it's interesting because Vezza certainly, it's clear that Fitzgerald is still confident in his ability. He keeps the helmet on. He will clearly be going out again on this drive. Looking over on the iPad at what he did wrong there, staring at the read for too long. Gavin, it's been an age-old debate. It really has. Your quarterback throws an interception, and it was not a pretty one. Do you go to the run? Do you let him get a feel again, or do you have the confidence just to let the kid go out there and sling the football when the defense is potentially guessing run, guessing that you're trying to get him eased back into the game?
No, I'm going to guess that they're going to ease him back into the game. You know, I'm sure he's shaken up a little bit. He knows that he's the reason that this game is tied, and just get back to where he's comfortable. Get him in a spot to where he's comfortable again and is feeling good enough to make those throws. And if that takes a couple running plays, a couple read options, a couple just check down throws, that's fine. Anything to get Vezza back on page and back to making the terrific throws that we know that he can make.
Absolutely, and that energy is something we mentioned so often. We saw Vezza laying down on the field for quite a while after the pick 6. He knew exactly when that ball released from his hands, it was not the right read. And luckily for him, he's got Kelly Watson in the backfield to get him back into the right mental space. We'll see what Fitzgerald dials up. Often we see this Dukes team aggressive following turnovers in order to keep this defense on the heels, but we'll see exactly what happens here with 5:46 to go in the second quarter as the ball falls off the tee. It's a windy night here in Elmhurst, Illinois.
And it just stinks because, you know, obviously as an offense, there's going to be mistakes. The problem is the Dukes have not, those mistakes have been big ones, and they've cost the Dukes points. You know, the drop in the end zone, the pick six. You know, normally those, a drop
Even
and
the
an
muffed
interception.
punt could have led to
Yeah,
points.
exactly. Normally a drop and an interception and a muffed punt won't cause, you would hope, wouldn't cause you that much harm. But in this case, it's really, really hurt the Dukes.
And it speaks to the Dukes' ability defensively that this game is still locked up, because the Dukes have had 2 turnovers and a dropped touchdown, which typically would be recipe for disaster, as you mentioned. But this Dukes team has stood tall. They're about to get possession. It looks like, not too sure what's happening right here. Looks like there was a flag, and for whatever reason, Lyons Township gets to kick off from the Dukes 45. That's strange. I haven't seen something like that in a long time.
I'd expect a touchback here. Safe to say, it's going to be a touchback.
I would probably say there's about a 95% chance of doing so. But we did see the wobbly punt from the same kicker earlier, so you never know. But he is going to kick off from the 45 here, not something you see too often. And yes, it'll be a touchback. No funny business there. The Dukes will start off on their own 20. Fireworks still going off in the distance. Someone's putting on quite the show for this Dukes homecoming affair. They've been going on for about 3 minutes straight. These fireworks, absolutely awesome. This Dukes team has so much hype around it. I can't remember the last time I've seen fireworks at a Dukes football game, but they'll get Veza back in and they'll get him back in passing. This time he hits the screen pass in stride. He's able to get near the first down. Looks like he may have even been able to pick it up. And you know, there is a flag on the field, but prior to that interception, Veza missed a relatively easy screen pass. They get him right back in, get him back in his rhythm. Although the Dukes offense appears to be walking back following the flag, I do really like the play call from Coach Fitzgerald.
Yeah, they do like that short pass, that short kind of screen with extra blockers to Wagner. He's super shifty, usually gets them at least 8 to 10 yards. And they've got them 8 to 10 yards. Unfortunately, there was a flag, so the Dukes are backed up. It's a 1st and 20.
All of a sudden, the momentum is sticking in the corner of the blue and yellow. Not something I expected to be saying after that interception by Connor Wall in the end zone, but it's crazy how fast the game of football can change. It changes on you so quickly, and all of a sudden, Matt Veza's in desperation mode. Veza dropping back to pass. Wants his first read, goes for the long ball. He has his guy, and it is dropped again. Maybe he got a hand in there, but there's a flag. It's a very late flag. I would
believe that
potentially
should be taunting.
Exactly, I was
He got in the
expecting
face of
taunting
Speck.
there.
And I thought there should have been a flag anyways. It looked like Speck had one arm that was hooked by the LT defender. He seemed to try and bring it in, but haul it in with one hand. But, you know, it seems like there's going to be a penalty anyways, because the LT cornerback could not contain himself.
Absolutely. It was a great stop. I'm guessing he had an arm in there, but that's just not an excusable penalty. You get rid of that huge play, all of a sudden the Dukes are poised with what will likely be a first down if this is a taunting penalty. And it makes up for the fact that Specs did not come down with that ball. And as I mentioned, Gavin, high school, it seems so many high school teams forget about the fact that pushing the ball down the field will often result in yards regardless of the catch. In today's football, in today's NFL, in today's college football, on every single stage, the offense has such an advantage downfield. You see pass interferences, you see holding, you see all of this called so often. There's times where it's like, why not just push the ball down the field? Coach Fitzgerald dials it up, and it works out for the Dukes.
Yeah, it'll be a 1st and 5 for the Dukes at their own 25 now.
This time, Veza will keep it himself. Gets to the outside. He breaks through a few tackles, and then is sandwiched by a couple LT defenders.
And just to go back to that flag, if I'm the LT coach, I am furious, because if that penalty doesn't happen, it is 2nd and 20, and the Dukes are on their own 10. That is huge in a tie game with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Like,
especially at an opposing team's homecoming game, you have to capitalize on opportunities. That's why John Butcher, the coach of LT, was so furious. And I would be as well. As you mentioned, Kelly Watson picked up midair and thrown down. Really great to see him get up as quickly as he did there. The last time we saw one of those pile driver type hits against him, it resulted in an injury. So glad to see Watson pop right back up following the big run, and it looks like it'll be about a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, and Kelly Watson seemed to adopt this nickname, the villain. Be the villain is his motto. And just be the guy that the defense hates, be the guy that the defense just wants to get after and get in their head, and he seems to relish that kind of persona.
Absolutely. This time they'll give it to Watson again. Whistle's blown. There's a flag pre-snap. Looks like they're signaling for a false start. The Dukes shooting themselves in the foot here. It'll be a 2nd and 6 after that huge run from Watson.
I had a chance to talk with Coach Fitz on just how he thought this homecoming game and the atmosphere around it and the crowd, how that's going to help the Dukes. And he said, well, the home crowd will bring very much needed momentum, and momentum is super, super important in a game like this. You can see that Coach Fitz is extremely right. Momentum has been huge, and there's been lots of shifts in momentum throughout this first half.
Absolutely, and Vezzo looking to capitalize on this Duke possession with momentum in their favor. Watson, late hit, the flags down.
There are the flags.
Watson, that was just, he was clearly intending to go out of bounds. In college, they'll call that targeting, and high school, he'll just call that a dirty hit. That was not something you could do, as the student section will remind you. You can't do that.
Very true. Yeah, LT has just been shooting themselves in the foot on this drive. This is about now 30 yards that York has gained from just stupid penalties in which the LT defenders could not control themselves.
Absolutely. Now under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. This homecoming game is locked at 7s, and it could have been much worse for the Dukes. 2 turnovers, a drop touchdown, but all of a sudden the Dukes are driving. They have a 1st and 10 in LT territory. It'll be Matt Vezza from the shotgun, as he's really been all game, looking to get things started. Vezza with the give to Watson. Watson cuts back upfield. Watson stopped after a minuscule game, and it was about 3, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 7.
Tackled by number 32. John Tobin brings up a 2nd and 8 for the Dukes.
Go, the huddle breaks. The Duke student section is loud for their offense here. Vezza feeling the pressure. The junior under center starting over the veteran Colin Doherty. He gives it to Watson. Watson off the edge. Watson hit low. Barely was able to lead with his shoulder there. I was looking to potentially see a flag for that LT defender leading with his helmet, but no. Watson picks up some much needed yardage, and it will be a 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 4 here for the Dukes offense.
It'll be important to keep an eye on the clock. You know, less than 3 minutes to go. Dukes are inside the LT 40, but I mean that clock is running, so the Dukes may need to pick up the pace a little bit if they want to get 7.
Looks like they have plenty of time to get where they need to be. Vezza keeps it. Vezza gets the 1st and more. Vezza spinning out of a tackle. LT is hitting hard on this drive. They want that ball back. They're trying to pop the football out. It's led to a few penalties. Now 2:30 to go here. Looks like the clock will stop for a second. It continues to roll. Just under 2:30 now remaining. The Dukes will roll with the no huddle. They like keeping this LT defense on their toes. Vezza wants the screen, fakes it. Has to roll out. He has a guy. Vezza finds his man. No. Just too far. There were about a half-second off on the timing there, but that's all it takes in high school football. It's all it takes in any level of football. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10 with 2:20 to go in this half of a 7-7 homecoming football game.
Yeah, that was a tight end, Emmett Horn, who was the intended receiver, and just out of reach of him. That would have put the Dukes in the red zone.
And every time you mention a Dukes weapon's name, it really just makes me remember, oh yeah, he's on this team. Oh yeah, he's on this team too. They have so many guys out there. Emmett Horn, Charlie Speck, Jack Wagner, Cal Harris, Kelly Watson, just to name a few. Veza has so many talented pass catchers. It's got to be nice to have guys you can trust to catch the ball, even though tonight there's been a few drops. Veza brought down from behind. Opted to keep it himself, wasn't the right decision. Gets out to about the line of scrimmage. They'll bring up a huge 3rd and 11 here for the Dukes.
Dukes back to the line. 3 wide receivers and a tight end.
Watson staying in the backfield, the block. Now he'll go out. Veza. That ball is thrown far too out of bounds. It will bring up a 4th and 11 just around that sweet spot for Max the leg Hansman. We'll see if they trot him out here on this 4th and 11.
It's hard to tell where the wind is blowing. It seems to just kind of be swirling. And you know, wind is a huge factor when deciding to attempt a field goal or not, but the offense is out.
You're right, I'm looking around, there's wind going every which direction, and it's getting a lot stronger. They opt to keep the offense out there. It's Matt Veza. Matt Veza staying with his read he likes the whole time. It's batted at the line of scrimmage. The Dukes leave with no points, and all of a sudden Lyons has a 2-minute drill to go into halftime with the lead. Gavin, if you told me that 10 minutes ago, I'd say you were crazy. But this Lions team has momentum, and they are moving, and they are playing with heart.
Yeah, this will be a really important drive for the Lions because with 1:41 on the clock left and about 70 yards to go to get to the end zone, you can't be running your quarterback draws for 1:40 with only 1 timeout left. You're going to have to pass the ball, push the ball downfield a little bit. Will they do that? We will find out.
Lions offense has been very stagnant of late. We haven't seen them on the field for quite a while now. Last time we saw them was the interception to Connor Wall. We'll see what Agnetti and the company can get going. They want to roll him out. They want him to throw on the run. That ball nearly intercepted. Tipped by a Dukes defender. Very agile play. Brings up a 2nd and 10. And they love those bootlegs. It's clear the Lions thinks that Agnetti is the best when he's on the run. Very reminiscent of what I said earlier regarding Zach Wilson. This team loves to have him keep the keepers, and they love to have him do these bootlegs. He just hasn't been able to have time to set his feet, and it's led to some sloppy passes, and that's the reason it's 2nd and 10. Got word from sponsor Mr. Chambers, there. He wanted to apologize for the interrupted feed, but we're back. We're going. I'm sorry to any live viewers for the interrupted feed. We're back. 1:30 to go. It's a 3rd down for Lyons Township and a big one. 3rd and 4. This could likely be a turning point in the game. 1:29 to go in this 2nd quarter. We're all deadlocked at 7. And Agnetti will work from the shotgun as he's been doing all night.
4 wide receivers set.
Agnetti with the rollout, with the give. I like the play call. It'll be close, but I don't think he got it.
No, snuffed out. They had number 6, David Locke, kind of out there. It was just like a spy. And so while the quarterback wasn't running, he was able to snuff out the delayed handoff, and it'll be 4th down for LT.
And you know, those delayed handoffs, Gavin, are often one of my favorite play calls in a 3rd and manageable 3rd to 4 to about 6 situation where the defense all drops back into coverage expecting pass. Doesn't work out that time, but at least it's a bit more creative. It gets the ball rolling, a bit less predictive from this LT offense. Here come the Dukes. Muffed the punt the last time they had the chance. The ball is slippery. It is still raining and windy outside. We'll see if they'll be able to field it cleanly and potentially get some yards on this return. Dukes send a bull rush. Nearly gets to the punter yet again. Fair catch called for and made. 31 seconds to go in this 2nd quarter. The Dukes will start deep in their own zone. We'll see if they opt to let Veza push the ball down the field or if they'll just let this run into halftime. I can see it going either way. 7-7 at homecoming. Of course, the dance on Saturday. Big thanks to everyone who sets that up. But homecoming, I would like to see Coach Fitzgerald dial something up here, give Matt Veza a chance to do something with his arm. He's got the receivers to do it. He's got guys constantly streaking down the sideline, but no, they'll kneel the ball to go into half. This will be a 7-7 tied up game at halftime. Veza in the quote-unquote victory formation, but this game is far from over. It's 7-7. Dukes lost a bit of momentum there at the end of the half, and going into the half, it will be tied. Gavin, this game has been very interesting. We really appreciate all of our viewers on the York Sports Network. AJ Swiatek, Gavin Connolly. We're going to take a little halftime for ourselves. We appreciate it, and have a great homecoming weekend, Dukes, and we will be back after this halftime intermission.
Marching season will take you on a journey back to the 1980s, when MTV and digital were overtaking the world by storm. This first selection was Billboard's #1 single for the year 1980. We hope you enjoyed the dance rock hit by Varsity. the place of the 1981 J. Giles Band Center Bowl.
094. Demi, congratulations on winning the gift card. All thanks to John Community Radio here in Elmhurst. debit card or something. You can attend our property inspections there. David Pollard, please, Borchers, South Carolina.
And we are back. AJ Swiatek getting Gavin Connolly up in the booth. Getting back from halftime. We hope you guys enjoyed the Kenneth Dowdy cam. That was an idea by producer here and cameraman Zach Ortlieb. So big thanks to him for helping out. We let him have a little creative freedom there. Show off his favorite teacher at York, Kenneth Dowdy. And there's only 1 second left in halftime. This is about to get underway. The Dukes will receive to start the second half. It's 7-7. We're deadlocked. And we talked to some LT students during the break, and it was clear that Antionetti is a running quarterback. They said that he has offers from multiple schools, but none of which were to play quarterback. And heading into tonight's game, there were legitimate talks that Antionetti would be moved to starting running back and linebacker. But at the end of the night, Antionetti came in, he started. He hasn't looked too sharp with his arm, but the kid can certainly move. And we'll have to see what he's able to do in the second half. However, Matt Vezzo is now looking to bounce back coming out of the half. Fitzgerald was spending a lot of time with him, and I mean a lot of time with him during that 20-minute homecoming half. He wanted to make sure Vezzo was in the right headspace. The entire student section is still here. They're excited. We're excited up in the booth. It is homecoming week. York Dukes football is back. They're 4-0, looking to clinch a playoff berth for the first time in over a decade. It has been an unreal season, Gavin, and this has been the epiphany of it all. This Lions game has had so much hype for so long. The next door neighbors, Lyons Township Lions up against the York Dukes. This half is about to get underway. Gavin, I'm excited.
I'm excited as well. And you mentioned how much Fitz was talking to Veza. They were going to need him to make the right plays and not throw pick sixes. And the Dukes want to have a chance at winning this game. And the crowd is back into it, as you can probably hear.
And we are off. Ball kick near the sideline. They let it bounce. He grabs it. Now it's to the 20. 25 looks like he'll get hit. Gets out around the 30 and brought down is Kelly Watson on the return. And out trots the Dukes offense. And out trots Matt Veza. But if you want to pay attention to the bottom of your screen, Colin Doherty has his helmet on and he is talking to Coach Fitzgerald. It is not unlike the Dukes to make speedy quarterback changes. I think that it's clear to Veza, the pressure's on. One more mistake could lead to the captain, the veteran, the senior, Colin Doherty getting back in the game. But Veza will line up in the shotgun to start the second half. LT's bringing pressure off the edge. There's an unblocked guy. Perfect read. Huge play call from the Lyons Township defensive coordinator. That is just an absolute clobbering of Kelly Watson behind the line of scrimmage.
They're going to need him to play well as well in the second half. You know, he's had some big plays, hasn't really busted off any huge runs other than like a 12, 13-yarder, I think is his most. But, you know, they're going to need him to just fall forward, break down defenders like we know that he can do, and he does it so well.
Absolutely, and now it's second and about 10. They'll say he got back to right around the line of scrimmage, and they'll give it to Watson. Watson again, Watson off the edge. That's a big run. Kelly Watson gets down right around the first down. And this student section is going wild. Meanwhile, this is one of the windiest nights in Elmhurst I have witnessed in recent memory, Gavin. The trees are swaying. You can see the goalposts waving in every which direction. And both teams with heavy ground attacks love to see the wind. Now here comes Veza. Veza with the give. They'll go 3 straight runs. This time it goes nowhere. Doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, and it will bring up a second and about 11. Second and 12 is what they'll mark it on the play. Matt Veza looking to the sideline, looking to Coach Fitzgerald. Coach Fitzgerald, of course, known for calling his plays via signals. When it gets so loud like this in a high school affair, so much pressure on, prefers for it to be visual cues for the play rather than talkative ones. And it's an out route and caught by Jack Wagner. Wagner gets the first down and more. Matt Veza is able to connect, and the crowd is so electrically loud. It is unbelievable. We're back. They give to Watson, once again bottled up.
Kept by Veza. Barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
Correct. And Gavin, I know this isn't a weather report. I don't want to beat a dead horse here about the weather, but it is crazy out here. There's random spurts of rain. The trees are currently waving in directions I've never seen. It is windy and it's exciting. This is almost the most fitting possible weather for such a big game.
You know, I guess Mother Nature knew how much drama we were going to see this game.
Absolutely, and this crowd is loud. Veza is able to roll out, find his guy, and it looks like they'll be marked about a half-yard shy of the first down.
They're down for the Dukes.
Chance of we want Veza coming from the student section.
They want a Veza play on this 3rd and 2. It was not a favorable spot for the Dukes. And they'll listen. Veza with the keeper. He'll get the first down and more. I like the play call. And you know, I just realized we forgot to mention a key component of this game. The King of the Couch winner was decided today. Of course, for anyone unfamiliar with the tradition at York High School, rather than a King and Queen of the Couch, we have a King and Queen of the Couch group competition. Rather than of homecoming, it's of a couch. Winners get to sit on a couch on the sidelines and enjoy Portillo's. This year there was a lot of great competitors, but the Dino Dukes were the winners, and they are out on the sideline having a fun time on the couch. Just noticed them get excited for that pass play, and that's another Matt Veza first down. This offense is rolling, and he is dialed in. He's not celebrating with the team. He's looking immediately over to Coach Fitzgerald, seeing what he wants to call next, and that's exactly that locked-in mentality you want to see from your QB1, who's only a junior.
And that was another catch by number 11, Jack Wagner. Had the touchdown earlier. That was his 5th catch of the day. He's been very active this game.
Absolutely. Veza under the gun. To give to Watson. Fakes the keeper. Watson hit very hard.
A flag comes out on the far side of the field.
It's the second time in about 10 plays now that we've seen Watson just get hit very hard by the sideline. It looks like it'll come back to bite the Lions in the butt here. And now it's a 1st and long. It was actually a penalty against the Dukes. Leads to a 1st and 18. And now it's Veza. Veza rolling out exactly what Lions love to do with Agnetti. And that is not the correct read. He didn't really have anyone there. Was forced to just throw it. Threw it a little low for its intended target. And it will lead to a 2nd and 18 following the signal for an incomplete pass.
It seemed like 2 of the officials seemed to think it was a completion, and then a 3rd official came running in saying, no, it hit the ground, incomplete, and the Dukes are backing out.
Absolutely. You could see 2 different refs signaling 2 different calls there, but in the end they go with the incomplete pass. I do think that was the right call. Did look from our angle to clearly hit the ground.
Veza, he's had a little bit of a struggle with his accuracy today. It's been kind of hot or cold. That time that throws a little bit off the mark. We've seen a couple where it's just a little bit overthrown or just a little bit underthrown. So yeah, just something to look for in the second half to see if Veza can be a little bit more precise with his passing.
Now it's Veza from the shotgun. He'll keep it himself. Veza up the middle. He had a burst of speed and he got hit high.
But he can take those hits. He's put his head down and run straight up the middle a few times this drive. Taking the hit, sacrificed the body. He's a real tough kid.
Absolutely. That was a hard hit right near that shoulder area. But Veza able to pick up a lot of yards and make this an interesting 3rd down for the Dukes. A little bit more manageable 3rd and 10 here. And that play got Matt Veza to 51 rushing yards, over 50 on the day now. Him and Watson going back and forth as the rushing leaders. And rightfully so, they've had about the same amount of carries. This Dukes offense has kept the Lions defense guessing all night, whether it be read options, whether it be QB keepers, whether it be QB powers, whether it be any kind of run play. Lions has been forced to stay on their heels, and it's been really because of this amazing, prolific offense that we've seen Coach Fitzgerald build here at his time at York. Veza breaks the huddle. He'll line up in the shotgun. See 4 wide. Likely an intended passing play here on 3rd and 10. Matt Veza sees his first option. Doesn't like it. Forced to evade the pressure. It looks like there will be a holding
There was
flag.
a hold there. Definitely a holding on the Dukes.
Unfortunately for the Dukes, it doesn't matter. Will be 4th down regardless here, but it will be interesting to see if they'll trot Max Hansman out. Given the conditions, Coach Fitzgerald has not been too confident in his guy. They really haven't attempted a field goal yet this game.
No, and the winds, they're pushing dead dead east of where we are standing, or dead west, excuse me, not in favor of pretty much, handsmen would be kicking right into the wind is what I'm trying to say. Handsmen would be kicking right into the wind if they were to try this.
Smart to explain the cardinal directions from where we are standing.
That's not my strong suit. Stick to sports, Gavin.
Here we go. They accept the penalty. It will bring up a 3rd down for the Dukes. They likely thought the Dukes were going to go for the field goal attempt there, so close to the red zone. And now all of a sudden, Vazza and company will be forced to at least pick up a chunk play here to get them back into the range they were just in.
It appears that the Dukes have 3 wide receivers, their typical 11 personnel, 1 tight end, 1 running back, and 3 wide receivers.
LT not with too much safety help here on your right side of the field. Veza, though, really wants the left side, stayed locked in on the same wide receiver the whole play, and it works out. They're able to get the 1st down. Oh, my goodness. Just when it looked like all hope was lost, it's clear LT should not have taken that flag. What would have been a 4th and 10 turns into a Cal Harris big pickup and 1st down, and I'll tell you what, that's an age-old debate. We've had a few of those tonight, but that is likely the most prevalent. When you could get a team to 4th down, do you just have to take the penalty? They opt to give the Dukes 15 less yards, but really it gives the Dukes an extra play to run with, and it leads to a Cal Harris 1st down.
Yeah, that was a great play by Cal Harris, making guys miss. He found the hole in the zone, and Veza put it on the money.
This time the give won't go for much.
Just to go back to that long reception, super smart by Harris to know that that if he went down at the spot where he caught it, he would not have gotten the 1st down. Kept his head up, made a couple guys miss, got the extra yardage, got the 1st down and more, and now the Dukes are inside the LT 10.
Absolutely. And now on 2nd and goal. Looks like there is a Lyons Township player receiving attention on the field. Hopefully all is well. 6:45 to go in this 3rd quarter. AJ Swiatek, Gavin Connolly will be right back after we get word from the injury. And following the injury timeout, the Dukes are back on offense. Hopefully all is well. He was able to walk off under his own power, but limping extremely slowly off the field. He wants the back shoulder. Does he have it?
No, he does not, but there will be a pass interference penalty.
Nearly a terrific grab in the back of the end zone. Regardless, the Dukes will get a 1st down on the Lyons Township 1-yard line. This offense is moving.
And another Lion is down, seeking medical attention.
That's 2 straight plays where the Lions have lost players. Hopefully all is well as per usual. York Sports Network will be right back after this injury timeout. And we're back. The give off the outside. That's an easy walk-in touchdown following the interception by Lyons. The Dukes answer finally offensively after the injury timeout. Dukes go 13-7, and Max Hansman PAT will put them up 7 if it is good, of course. Huge touchdown run. 2 juniors having such big implications on this offense, Gavin. The mix of Matt Vezza and Kelly Watson has been lethal tonight.
Yeah, the read option has been so key. And I honestly did not see this from Vezza, having such a strong running performance and just the toughness and grit that he's had when going up the middles. Heck, he could be a running back. I'm surprised he doesn't have offers from schools as a running back. I mean, he has just looked so good tonight, so determined. He's so mentally and physically tough. And, you know, we've already said everything that needs to be said about Kelly Watson in previous streams. Like, he's just a monster.
The villain. And I've been asked multiple times tonight, the few times I've been able to check my phone during the stream, a lot of people have been asking who I will be giving the game MVP to. And, of course, too early to tell, Gavin. But right now, a little bit of an unconventional pick. There's just no way at this point in the game you can convince me that it's not Coach Fitzgerald. This offensive play calling has been so creative from a Dukes team that is so often stagnant. It has been terrific to watch. I mean, these read options, these RPOs, everything to make this offense tailored to his quarterback. He is not a Kyle Shanahan kind of guy where he's going to stick with his system. If there's a guy who doesn't fit it, he won't play. No. Coach Fitzgerald is out there making changes, making the necessary ones at that.
Definitely.
And now that he has Matt Vezza under center, it's a fully different offense than he had with Doherty. It's a fully different offense than he had last year with Boysen in the mix at quarterback, and it is working well. Dukes on top 14-7 with 6:30 to go.
Yeah, and just a reminder, this defense has not given up a point yet.
Correct. That did come off the Lions' pick 6. The Lions, Township Lions, will get it out at about 32.
And just to go back to what you were saying about Coach Fitz, something that he loves to incorporate is the deep play, the deep throw. He doesn't do it often, but it seems like he calls that deep shot or spreads out 4 or 5 wide receivers at the perfect time.
Always.
That's the perfect time to take a shot, throw a deep ball. And I mean, these Dukes, they're so well. They're like a well-oiled machine. They execute
when the defense starts guessing run, Gavin, that's when Coach Fitz is able to make the adjustment. He does his little verbal cues, and all of a sudden they dial up the deep ball, force penalties, and catch touchdowns. And that's why this Duke team has been so lethal this year and honestly surprised a lot of people in Illinois.
Hit him right in the mouth.
That run goes for little to no gain. Second and 7 now for the Lions. Nettie looking to get something going here for the offense. Joey and the Lions have been pretty stagnant thus far.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but there are less than 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the LT quarterback, Joey Antionetti, has not completed a pass. He has not completed a pass. They've run 3 bootlegs for him, and all 3 have been incomplete.
And the one that was complete was called back on a penalty.
Exactly. He had 1 technical completion, but there was a holding penalty. Crazy.
At the end of the day, it has been those penalties that have really hurt Lyons Township when they've had the drives getting going, when they've been able to stop the Dukes. It's always been a penalty. It's always biting themselves and slowly tearing themselves to bits. And you could see how frustrated not only the coaching staff, but the players are with themselves. And it really is infuriating to watch. And Inetti in the bootleg to his favorite side again, and he gets slammed. No! Breaks out of the sack. Nearly intercepted. That was a change of events. I'll tell you what, that play had a lot to break down. I guarantee you that won't be one Agnetti enjoys watching in the film room. Breaked out of the sack. Looked to be a potential highlight play, but again, has too much faith in his arm now. 0 for 4 on the day, all on bootlegs, and this time one that should have been intercepted.
I don't know how John Renier did not put Antionetti in the turf. He was flying at him. Credit to Antionetti for shedding the tackle, but then he threw it right into the chest of cornerback Jack Klimek.
That's one Klimek would want to have back.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I don't even think he was expecting that. That was thrown right to Klimek.
Klimek was clearly expecting a sack there, and rightfully so. Another wobbly punt. Lyons will down it on the Duke 45.
The wind took that punt. I'm going to be honest with you. The ball was kicked straight up and then just stopped and went straight down.
That's physics right there.
Huh.
Shout out to Gavin's physics teacher.
Mr. Paschke.
Mr. P.
Mr. P. Great guy.
I've heard good things. There comes Matt Vezza from the shotgun. Fakes the give to Watson, gives it to Wagner on the outside. He has a little room to run. Jack Wagner picks up the first down and a couple more. Gets the ball on the Lions side of the field. Moves the chains, first down, York Dukes.
I love the way that they use Jack Wagner because he's not a deep threat. He is just a pure, like, you know that you can throw it to him and he's going to catch it. He has no drops on this year. His depth of target is not high. It's usually screen passes or just short throws, but you know he's going to come down with it and you know he's going to get yards after the catch.
Absolutely. I couldn't have said that one better myself, Gavin. He is the reliable target. They love him in the screen game. He had a lot of hype coming in the year, and he has really lived up to it, as has a lot of this Dukes team. Kelly Watson now on the run, picks up about 5.
Number 1, Kelly Watson. Run for about 5 yards for the Dukes. Second down.
Now it's Matt Vezza getting ready. He has 3 guys wide here. Kelly Watson with him in the backfield. Lyons continues to only have 3 to 4 guys lined up on the line, but they do stack the boxes. Wagner again on the screen, able to break through a few tackles and put a guy down. He is excited, and rightfully so. That was a big play.
Yeah, that'll get the sideline hyped up. Put a guy right on his back, right in front of your whole team.
Just enough for the Dukes first down. Wagner did that all by himself, trying to decipher who that cornerback was. Just a little heads up for anyone watching this game. If I did get any names wrong tonight, that should change in the near future. I recently found out that I need prescription glasses, so don't have them on me right now. Don't have them with me yet, period. But not too easy to read the numbers from up here. Kelly Watson able to run for a first down.
Hopefully we were able to see that Kelly Watson run, because that sure was a beauty. As another Lion is down on the ground. Hopefully these are just cramps, but he does seem to be in some pain.
And we will be right back after this timeout break. And we're back. Luckily, the injury timeout concluded pretty quickly. Watson now able to elude a few tackles, but all of which behind the line of scrimmage. Not able to get anywhere past the line of scrimmage, and it will be a 2nd and 10 now for the Dukes. Now it's Watson again, yet again not able to get to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 11 now. Veza from the shotgun has his first option and likes it, throws a dart.
Right through the hands of Cal Harris. And he fell down on the LT corner. And he is slow to get up. 4th down for the Dukes.
And now it's 4th and 11. And look who's in the game. Colin Doherty's out there.
That is for sure number 3.
Senior captain Colin Doherty looked to be lining up there. But now it is a timeout call. And a smart one from Lyons Township. They weren't ready to see a different quarterback out there, but Colin Doherty will yet again trot out there. That was not trickery. They do expect Colin Doherty to have this 4th and 11 on his homecoming night. Interesting play call from Coach Fitzgerald, mixing up the quarterback. Clearly saw something in the defense that he thought Colin Doherty could tear apart. No, Colin Doherty's just the holder.
we got tricked. I was just gonna say, I'm like, it's a 4th and 11. You're on your own 23. Why would you go for it here? He's the holder.
Doherty with the hold. Max Hansman with the kick. That kick is up. It is directly no.
No good, but a flag. There is a flag. There is hope.
Little update, in the heavy wind, a snow cone is knocked down near our setup, very near sponsor, Mr. Chambers. So let's use that little break there. We're getting it all cleaned up. It's a little sticky up in the booth. Chambers is pouring water from his Visco Girl hydro flask onto the setup, cleaning it all off. Hopefully.
Definitely the wind that knocked over that.
Absolutely, it's windy up here.
Slushy.
Chambers is going to implement a rule: no more Billy Slushy runs for at least for the time being. Sorry, Pat Fromell, father of Bill. But 2:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Slushy is the least of your guys' issues. Hopefully, we're keeping you entertained in this little intermission. 2:06 to go in this 3rd quarter. Duke's on top by 7. After the missed kick from Max the Leg Hansman, and now it's Lyons trying to tie it up or potentially take a lead. Antonetti
fumbled
with the
snap.
snap. Outside, he will finally attempt to pass, but yet again, the bootleg does not work out for Antonetti.
Yeah, the fumbled snap gave the defensive line some extra time to get after the quarterback, chased him outside the pocket. He's forced to throw it away.
And following the clock stoppage and flag, it is a Lions 1st down on the 34. Duke student section getting loud. First defense chat of the half. A lot of students still in the student section. Great to see the turnout staying strong, and rightfully so. This has been a great game up until this point. Of course, York defense still has yet to allow a single point. Those 7 points on the board were from a Matt Veza caused pick 6. Other than that, Veza has had his shines and his woes, and that is a deep throw. Yet again, just 2 yards.
No flag.
There will not be a flag on the deep bomb, as mentioned by Gavin. But yet again, this Duke's defense is standing strong, yet to give up a point. They have had such a solid season. And the offense is doing well as well. 14-7, under 2 to go in this third quarter. Gavin, the Dukes are looking very good thus far. What do they have to do to hold on to the 7-point lead?
I think continue to stay stout defensively. Their cornerbacks have played great, especially number 22, Matisse Ndezabelli on that last play. That was textbook coverage. I do want to shout that out. But yeah, just the linebackers have played great. They've been able to get pressure. I mean, the LT quarterback doesn't even have a completion, so that should tell you enough. The defense stays stout. The Dukes have a great chance to advance to 5-0.
At this point, it's looking like there's a very real chance Antonetti will go into the fourth quarter without a completed pass, and he has played every snap for this LT offense. Absolute absurdity. Dukes fans are loud. They're on their feet. They're stopping the bleachers. It's 3rd and 10. This is a huge play for this Dukes defense. Antonetti, first time we don't see him in the bootleg, completes his first pass of the game, but it's shy of the ropes. That is not going to get it done. Dukes knock him down about 3 yards to the first down.
There is another flag on the far side of the field, and the officials are going to get together and discuss it.
You know, Mr. Chambers, when he chose to bring his kids to the game but came up top, probably was expecting to get away from children for a little while, but now he's dealing with the spilled slushy. So apologies go out to Mr. Chambers. Appreciate him cleaning up the setup. There's a lot of red sticky stuff everywhere, as he's putting. He said he feels very sticky.
It really stinks that the wind knocks this one over.
It really does.
Really blame the wind on this one.
Yeah, definitely not Gavin's fault. The wind knocked that one right.
Throw Gavin under the bus.
There's some booing going on, and that likely means that the chains are moving, and they are. Lyons Township will have a first down following the flag. So after that completed pass, it looks like the chains will continue to walk. That was at least a 10-yard penalty. And all of a sudden, the Lions offense is on the Duke side of the field for the first time in a long time, Gavin.
Yeah, we have not seen much of this. Besides the drive in which there was a muffed punt and the Lions got great field position, which ended up being an interception.
Oh, and they continue to move.
They're marking this at the Duke 29. That is...
No, yes, what is happening?
I don't understand. And another flag that he just threw at Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald has been talking to the ref, and the flags continue to come down. The last thing you want to see is the York head coach ejected from his own homecoming game. The boos are coming out. This is
chaos.
Chaotic, as you mentioned.
What is going on? That would be about.
Fitzgerald got a little mouthy following the penalty call. It led to more yardage. Now Lyons Township has the ball near the red zone and a chance to capitalize right now.
That was about 30 to 40 yards of penalties that LT just got. That is massive. And the Dukes fans are letting the officials hear it.
Here comes 1st and 10 from the Duke 28. It's Antonetti. Antonetti will keep the keeper. We will see if they can get something going. All of a sudden, they have a bit of momentum, and another flag is down. That looked like it might have been a helmet-to-helmet hit. All of a sudden, by any means possible, this Lyons Township team looks like they will be within the Duke's red zone. No, it's a holding.
Oof, thank goodness.
The late holding
That was a
call.
big hit delivered on Antonetti. He got really blown up there. You did mention the helmet-to-helmet contact.
And yet again, the student section will remind Lyons Township, you cannot hold. You cannot do that.
You cannot do that.
The penalty brings them back.
You cannot do that unless you're willing to sacrifice 10 yards. First and 18 with just over a minute to play. Duke's still up by 7.
LT breaks the snap. It's Antonetti from the shotgun. He has 2 guys in the backfield with him in a very crowded set. The Duke's crowding the box as well. Lyons Township loves to run the football. It looks like there will be a timeout charge by the Lyons Township Lions. They have 2 remaining now in this third quarter. Gavin, 1st and 18 here for the Lions. What do they have to do to move the football and potentially pick up a first down in such a necessary time when their offense has struggled so much this season?
I'm going to say it. Throw the football. They have completed 1 pass for about 8-ish yards. That's not enough. The entire reason that this LT drive is happening is from penalties and some jawing on the sidelines from the Duke coaching staff or the players. I don't know, but they got about 30 to 40 yards from penalties. Like the LT, should have been a 4th down by the LT 30. Instead, they're driving in Duke territory. This offense has not done much. It's just been penalties or quarterback draws. They need to start throwing the ball if they want to have some sort of offensive success, because if the pick 6 doesn't happen, it is 14-0. So really, the importance of not throwing the ball is really kind of coming to light here in the second half with the LT offense.
And we will see if they go with the passing attack or if they continue to go with the power running scheme that they have ran so often. Head coach John Butcher loves it, but they do go for the pass. He evades a sack. Agnetti is so great at that, but that ball thrown in no man's land. It will be 2nd and 18 for the Lyons Township.
And as you can probably imagine, a flag comes out.
Leaving little for imagination. There is a yellow flag on the field. We'll see what happens here.
Hungry Duke fans, we know you're hungry for victory, but pizza is now sold $2 a slice. Stop the Clinching fans while supplies last. Looks like $2 a slice. That sounds awful nice.
It looks like the offense is trotting back. It was a penalty on Lyons Township.
Or no penalty. The officials did pick up the flag.
It looks like it may have been offsetting penalties. 2 flags picked up now. Regardless, 2nd and 18, it's Agnetti who wants to keep the ball himself. Power run. Doesn't go for much.
A very familiar play call.
And if we're able to notice it, and the student section is clearly able to notice it, there's no way that the professional who gets paid money, Coach Fitzgerald, isn't able to notice it. This is becoming very predictable, and unless if they're trying to draw up some huge play action pass that they've been waiting on all game for one moment, this is starting to get quite pretentious. Now it's 10 seconds to go. Looks like LT will just let the clock run to the 4th quarter. Heading into the 4th quarter of the York Dukes homecoming game. At home, the student section has been wild. It will be a 3rd and 15, down 7 for Lyons Township. The Dukes are on top 14-7. AJ Swiatek, Gavin, Connolly. We will be right back after this very short quarter intermission. And here comes a major 3rd and 15. Coach Fitzgerald hyping up the crowd, trying to get them loud, and they are. It's completed. Agnetti, is it? No, it's bobbled and dropped. Agnetti had his guy. The passing play that was dialed up actually worked. They had the first down, but it was bobbled and dropped, and now it will be a 4th and 15.
He took his eye off the ball. He thought he had it, took his eye off it, and turned upfield just too soon. Ball bounced off his hip, nearly intercepted by David Locke, actually. And it'll be 4th down.
Often. He heard footsteps. He was getting ready to brace for the impact. That was the greatness of the York Dukes defense. He was not ready to take that hit and thus wasn't ready to catch the ball. It's now 4th and 15 for the Lyons Township team. It's put in a weird position here, just outside of where their kicker is typically able to make their things through the upright. And they will be going for this 4th and 15. No huddle, quick to the line. Eddie snaps it quick. Looks immediately to his left, throws that way. Oh my goodness, it was a well-placed back shoulder ball. He had his guy. That likely should have been caught, but just tipped up in the air with one hand nonchalantly, and it will be Dukes football.
Yeah, it seemed to be a little bit of a miscommunication between the wide receiver and the quarterback. Antonetti seemed to want to place it on his back shoulder. The receiver had his momentum, carrying him forward, so very, very hard to make that catch when you're already falling forward. And yeah, miscommunication there, and the Lions turn it over on downs. We've seen 2 plays now, 2 passing plays in which the execution was pretty good. Just a slight communication there, and then a flat-out drop the play before that.
Now it's Veza. Veza with the keeper through the middle. Veza brought down after a pickup of about 5. Quarterback keepers have been big for both teams tonight. Veza looks to be a little slow to get off. He's holding his leg.
That is not Veza.
That is not Veza. You're correct.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
much bigger Matt Veza. That's one of the guys up front for the Dukes. I'm not able to see because the trainers are currently blocking it, but hopefully all is well. When those big bodies clash, it always makes you wince a little bit. Hopefully all is okay. Swiatek, Gavin, Connolly will be back with an injury update as soon as possible. This is one of many injury timeouts tonight in York Sports Network. We'll be right back after this injury break. A little update on the injury. It was star lineman Chris Markison who went down. He got a standing ovation leaving the field. Was able to walk on his own power, but not after a lot of time to himself. Markison is so versatile. I actually talked to Zach earlier in the week. That would be Zach Fugelsang. He said that he's able to play center. He's able to play left tackle, which are arguably the 2 most important positions on the line, especially for a righty quarterback. That's Kelly Watson with the first run off the edge for a first down. But seriously, not a loss the Dukes want to be taking at this part of the season. Hopefully all is well with Markison. He's getting attention from staff on the side.
And Markison, he's a big dude, 6'5", 245, and all of it. Super strong guy. Yeah, exactly. Pushing guys around, helping help is a huge reason why this Duke's running game is so good. As the rain starts to return.
It has been so on and off. The wind has been here all night. Matt Veza with the give to Kelly Watson, and Watson will pick up about 3 to 4 yards. now with just over 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. The Dukes are on top by 7 and will do a give to Kelly Watson, who runs backwards a bit and is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that could have been bad. That's the second time now where Watson's gone backwards to try and do a little bit too much. He is great out of making something out of nothing, but at some point you just sometimes have to, you don't want to bite off more than you can chew.
He is so evasive, don't get me wrong, very speedy. I can see why he would think he'd often be able to turn the edge, but there's times where you just have to get those extra 1 to 2 yards. We really would make it third and more manageable, where 3rd and 6 is really the distance where the defense is going to know you're passing the ball. Speaking of which, Veza drops back to pass. Veza feels the pressure, forced to run up in the pocket. Matt Veza will be very close to the first down, but following his move, he will get it. The junior is showing up in the second half.
He is huge and gives the little first down indication with his arm. He's loving this moment. Important to note, he had a little pump fake right as he turned upfield, froze the defense for a little bit, helped him get the extra yardage and a little spin move, some finesse to end off the great run to keep this Dukes drive alive.
Absolutely, that was technical from Matt Veza. He had time, he looked through all of his reads, he went through his progressions, nobody was there, he kept it himself. When he noticed it would be hard to get to the first down, instead of sliding, he braced for contact, took a spin move, took a few hits, and got his team a much needed first down, which led to this Kelly Watson run on first down for about 1 to 2 yards. Now a 2nd and seemingly 9 for the Dukes after the minuscule gain from junior Kelly Watson. We're now under 9 minutes from a York Duke homecoming win. This would send them to 5-0 and potentially clinch a playoff berth for the first time in over a decade. Matt Veza dropping back to pass, has his guy, that's Charlie Specht. Charlie Specht on the outside. Specht brought down near the sideline, but not after picking up the first down. Specht really recovering well after that drop to start the game. Huge pickup for Charlie Specht with 8:30 to go in this fourth quarter.
And you got to imagine, with the way this Dukes defense has been playing and the way LT has been running their offense, a touchdown here would be huge. Now that the clock is running down, having an insurance touchdown at the high school football level with this kind of context, it would be absolutely massive, and the Dukes offense knows it.
Oh, absolutely, especially with Agnetti finally seemingly finding his stride. That trickery does not work out too well. It's Veza up the middle, and it will bring up a second down and about 5. Veza looking over for the signal from Coach Fitzgerald. He hits the play call. Matt Veza working from the shotgun as he has all night. The Dukes like giving him as little footwork as necessary, not necessary to take more than a 3-step drop out of the shotgun. Most likely is Kelly Watson out of the shotgun himself. That's the only downside to the shotgun, is it gives the defense a little bit more time to read what's going on behind the line of scrimmage. And the Dukes really don't care. They ran out of the shotgun almost every time this season, and it's worked just fine for Kelly Watson and company. Now it's third down and 7 for the Dukes. Coach Fitzgerald signaling the play to Matt Veza, who will read it inside the huddle.
And a big third down is that.
Absolutely, Matt Veza likely dropping back to pass here with under 7 minutes to go. This play could decide the game after Max Hansman has had a bit of a tough season. Caught.
No first down.
Run back and will not grab the first down. Bring up a 4th and 6 for the Dukes. Coach Fitzgerald is all of a
Here's
sudden
a decision.
in a very hard decision. Do you bring out the Like Hansman, which it looks like he is? This is the biggest kick of Max Hansman's young career.
I don't know if it is though. That's Max Hansman is number 18.
Let's see.
It seems like they're staying out there.
You're right, he trotted out for a second, goes back out. They're running an offensive play here. Cashman's had a bit of a rough season for himself this year. Fitzgerald opts to go with the hot hand, and Matt Veza, and they go with the no huddle. Veza wasting no time. Veza down the middle, not caught, and the Dukes will keep it a one-possession game with under 6 minutes to go.
Wow, big play.
You could
And
hear
the
a pin
concept
drop.
seemed to work. And just the life sucked out of this crowd. You can just hear the collective groan from
right.
all the students. Nonetheless, Duke's still on top.
That all happened so fast. Fitzgerald dialed up the no huddle, wanted to keep that LT defense on their heels. Seemed like Veza had a guy, but they're just a little off cue there. The Dukes keep this game very interesting. And you know, I really can't blame Coach Fitzgerald for that call. I think I would have done the same thing. Max Hansman's had a little bit of trouble, not only from field goals, but from PATs this year, as that's a completed pass for Joey Anyanetti. And I mean, why not keep the offense out there that's been so hot tonight? They've had a lot of opportunities. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20. A lot of people would call for the field goal, but I am not opposed to the play call. But now it is second and 5 for the Lyons Township Lions. The wind is really picking up now. Mother Nature's doing anything to get Dukes in. As a front runner here, he has a guy downfield, doesn't see him. Anyanetti forced to just lob it up out of bounds. That will bring up a quick 3rd and 5 for the Lions.
And here's another big third down. The 3-and-out here would be huge. The Lions, they've really, a trend here tonight has been, the Lions have been great on first down, usually get 5 or 6, then nothing on 2nd and 3rd. It's always been like a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4, and then it becomes a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
And a lot of that has been due to penalties. There's times where the 2nd down or 3rd down play call would have picked up the 1st down, but they
Very
bite
true.
off more than they can chew. Penalty brings back the play.
Let's get loud.
5:15 to go. The student section is loud. It's Anyanetti completed for the 1st down. Lyons Township moves the chains, and all of a sudden, this passing attack is looking like it can string together a few positive plays.
And shout out to our statistician, Gavin Rice, for letting us know the Lions have gained over 70 yards from Duke penalties. That is crazy.
Both teams have committed a lot of penalties tonight. It's been a sloppy game on both ends. A lot of that could be due to the weather, but a lot of that could also be due to the refs calling a lot of flags. Seems like a lot of times it's a 50-50. You see the yellow flag on the field. Regardless, Fitzgerald turns to the stands, gets him excited for this 1st and 10. Huge play now for Anyanetti. Anyanetti from the pocket, wants it all, has it, but it is in and out of the hands of an onlooking Lyons Township receiver. Oh my goodness, that would have been torturous for this Dukes crowd.
That was Travis Stam who had separation. Oh, just a touch overthrown and a little bit high. Who knows how that could have turned out. That would have been a huge chunk play for the Lions, something that they have lacked desperately this game.
I don't know
Missed
if
opportunity.
I would necessarily call it an overthrow. That's another debate that's happened just so often. If the ball hits the receiver's hands, is it a catchable ball? Was it perfectly placed? No. But at this stage of the game, that's a must-catch ball when it hits you in the hands like that in stride. Anyanetti all of a sudden getting in a rhythm, and that really messes with it. And now they go back to the QB keeper. Anyanetti seemingly sealing his fate that there will be a 3rd down here after picking up about 3.
You know, I thought he had room up the middle, but decided against it, tried to bounce it to the outside and make sure that he gets out of bounds.
Now under 5 minutes remaining. Clock stopped at 4:55 to go in this 4th quarter. York Dukes on top, 14-7. First real close game the Dukes have had this late so far this season. We'll see if this defense can create a big stand. It is 3rd and 7. The Dukes are getting loud. Fitzgerald's hyping them up. This is huge. Everybody in this stadium's on their feet. Anyanetti from a deep shotgun. goes to the outside and it hits the receiver in the hands, and it's another drop. Was that the
Wow.
perfectly placed football? No. But is that a must-catch?
Drop.
Yes. All of a sudden, it's 4th and 7.
Three.
The Lions are put in a really hard position.
3
here,
drops on the last 7 pass attempts from the Lions. 1 on the last drive. Then the big play that was dropped, just that last play again. 3 drops I've counted in the last 2 drives from the Lions. Sloppy receiving, and when you cannot catch the ball, it makes it very hard to pick up yards.
And head coach John Butcher of the Township Lions will opt to bring out the punting unit, have some trust in their defense to string together a few stops against Kelly Watson. We will see, and that is a very good punt in a much-needed time. Looks like it'll stall out right around the 20, and the Dukes have a lot to work with here. 4:42 to go. If the Dukes can string together a few first downs, this game could be all but over, but this Lions defense won't make it easy on them.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, Dukes viewers. It's now about that time where you gotta keep an eye on the clock as well. Look for the Dukes to burn some clock here. LT only has 2 timeouts remaining now, and 4:42 on the clock. This would be the perfect drive to just wear down the defense, run the ball, burn some clock, make it easy on your defense. Give them some time to rest too.
That's Veza. Veza fakes the keeper, gives it to Watson. Watson picks up about half of what's necessary. Looks like it'll be about a 2nd and 6. The Dukes are in no rush to hike this football.
Not at all. That was the perfect play call for a first down. Get 5 yards, and then slowly work your way back to the line of scrimmage.
Great
Take as
play
much
call.
time.
Even better execution from Kelly Watson. Watson has been so solid tonight, nearing the 100-yard mark on his homecoming game. He'll have another one. He's only a junior here at York High School, and he has really made his mark on this game.
Yeah, I believe this should be his 4th game over 100 yards if he does reach that mark.
Now it's Watson getting really close to the first down, and he will be stopped. And Lyons Township already has brought up a huge 3rd down and 1 for this Dukes offense. Likely the biggest play of the season so far for the York Dukes. 3rd and 1, Matt Veza will finally go under center. He keeps it himself.
Did he get there? Did
It's
they
a
get the
tug of
push?
war.
I see number 9 at the bottom of the pile. Will they give it to him? Yes, they will.
Spot the first down. I like the play call, have him rush off under center. Lions aren't used to seeing Veza under center whatsoever. You can see the confusion. He dives forward, picks up the first down, and the clock continues to run. Give to Watson, this one for a minimal gain. We are now under 3 minutes remaining. The Dukes are on top 14-7. This York Dukes defense yet to allow a single point. Just a reminder, if you're just tuning in, those 7 points came from a Matt Veza pick 6. Dukes defense has looked really sharp, so even if the Lions are able to come up with a really late stop here, it will be hard for Agnetti and company to get something going.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, when is LT going to use these timeouts? Will they use them when the Dukes have the ball to try and stop the clock, give their defense some more time? Or will they wait, bet on their defense to get the offense back on the field, and then have them for when the offense is on the field?
I would expect one of the timeouts to come after this 2-minute warning. Veza stopped deep in the backfield. Dukes will likely just let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning. Lions still have 2 timeouts left. It's going to be 3rd and long now, and it will be an interesting situation for Fitzgerald if he plays it safe, decides to just force another Lyons Township timeout. Is actually, Lyons calls a timeout prior to the 2-minute warning. And that makes sense. That puts Fitzgerald in an even harder position, because now if he chooses to pass the football and it's an incompletion, all of a sudden there will still be the 2-minute warning working on Lyons' side when they're on offense.
Yeah, I mean, with that in mind, I think they're going to pass the ball, because even if you run the ball, if it's not you're gonna get the 2 minute clock stoppage from the 2 minute warning anyway. So there's not too much benefit for running the ball. I'd expect a pass here.
I really like the timeout call when it was called by head coach John Butcher of the Lyons Township Lions. That was a great timeout call. It puts the Dukes in a bit of a rut here because all of a sudden, at most, there will be a 12-second runoff. Here comes Matt Vezza working from the shotgun. He's got 4 wide and a running back with him. Chooses to keep it himself. Matt Vezza has nowhere to go, and he is clobbered behind the line. The Lyons Township Lions have hope. The second timeout is charged to Lyons Township. They will trust the offense working with just the 2 minute warning. And I'll tell you what, I will be the first to say it, Gavin, that was a bad timeout. Why in the world call a timeout instead of letting the clock run to 2 minutes? That was pretty much just throwing away a timeout, because all of a sudden, this 2 minute warning won't mean anything because the clock stops on a punt regardless.
Yeah, you're right. Great point. And I'm sure the offense is just almost defeated after hearing that, or after seeing that timeout being used. It's going to make it so much harder now, because that means their entire offense is going to be structured about getting out of bounds, because you don't have, because going down in the middle of the field, running clock is just going to burn off so much time. So that was huge. That was a huge timeout call to be used at 2:04.
As the punt will stop the clock regardless. For anyone unsure, after a punt, the clock will stop, so it will just be simultaneous with the 2 minute warning, barring a less than 4 second punt. Whereas if they stuck with their timeout, they'd have a timeout to use afterwards and stop the clock in the middle of the field. Max Handsman now with the kick. Doesn't go as far as they would have liked. Lions probably should have fell on that one. But still, the Lions will start past their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, not bad field position to say the least, but the clock is not on their side and they have no timeouts. This is going to be a good one.
Students in the student section moving down to the front row. It's getting very interesting. All the students swarming the front seats now. There's 1:55 to go. And here come the Dukes. It looks like Dukes fans are getting ready to storm the field if there's a win. This will be extremely interesting. York fans lining up, getting ready for a historic win. But it is not over yet. Antonetti looking to be the villain, looking to shock and awe here at York. Can he do it? Antonetti, first pass complete, but he doesn't get out of bounds.
No, out of bounds.
And the clock will run.
And that's going to cost them about 12 seconds. Here comes Antonetti. He chooses to keep it himself. No. Zips it up and it's intercepted off the hands of a Lions receiver, and the Dukes have it. This game is over. The Dukes will move to 5-0. The Dukes are going to the playoffs. The Dukes are going to the playoffs. Connor Wall with his second of the game.
Goodness, his second 2-interception game of the season.
I don't believe it.
Dukes fans are going wild. We are a minute and 25 seconds away from a 5-0 start for the York Dukes team. This is not something I thought I would be saying at any point in my lifetime. There was a point where it was exciting for a Duke season to have a win. All of a sudden, Coach Fitzgerald is able to turn around the program. The Dukes will be 5-0 on their homecoming game. The dance is tomorrow, Saturday night. Big thanks to the faculty and staff for getting that set up. We hope to see you there, but the Dukes are about to wave goodbye to this Lyons Township effort. Lions offense held scoreless tonight. Oh my goodness, Gavin.
And the victory formation for the Dukes. You mentioned the dance was last night, but they're going to be dancing tonight. Already jumping. Tomorrow, yeah, you're right. The dance is tomorrow night, but the Dukes football team is going to be dancing tonight.
Absolutely. We now have 1 minute to go in this game. Matt Vezza, the junior, gets to do the victory formation. Although Colin Doherty is the captain, Vezza came in and he played great tonight. Matt Vezza made plays when it mattered most. He had a few drops by his receivers. The score doesn't show the full story. This was a game dominated by the green and white. Gavin, this was absolutely awesome to see. I mean, Gavin, Coach Fitzgerald gets the Gatorade bath. He is excited, and rightfully so. This is electric. The Dukes are storming the field. 26 seconds to go now. The Dukes are 5-0, and this is unreal. I cannot believe this.
We are going to the playoffs.
Has brought energy that this Dukes team hasn't seen in ages. He gets the Gatorade bath. The players are excited to play for him. And as the clock ticks down, the Dukes are able to celebrate a win on their homecoming night. Gavin, Dukes fans are getting ready to storm the field. I know you want to be a part of it. I won't keep you too long here. It has been awesome up here in the booth. We hope to see all of you at the York dance tomorrow. Homecoming, huge win for the York Dukes. Dukes come out on top 14-7. AJ Swiatek, Gavin Connolly up here in the booth. It was absolutely great to be on the call. Thank you guys so much for showing up and watching the stream. AJ Swiatek, York Sports Network. We'll be back for your next football stream.